Hey, so the question that I'm going to be answering for you today is, why do 90% of event venue owners will stay stuck in 2025? And what are the top 10% doing differently to win in this season? All right, so first thing first, the question: why do event venue owners struggle year after year, right? And I have that answer for you. First, survival mode, living month to month with zero predictability. You're unsure where your next book tour is going to come. You're unsure where your next booked event's going to come. You don't have a predictable system in place that allows you to understand what revenue is coming in month to month, right? Referral dependency. Referral marketing is amazing. I love referral marketing because it is a strong asset in your marketing ecosystem. However, if you're relying on luck instead of systems to move your business forward, you will fall to the lack thereof a system because you're relying on other people to move your business forward rather than predictable systems that can help you scale and grow for future possibilities, right? And then burnout cycle. Hey, I'm an event venue owner myself, so I understand the burnout cycle is real. So if you're doing everything in your business right now when it comes to marketing, sales, operations, finance, the list goes on and on, you're burnt out and you're working harder while the competition scales smartly. You want to operate in your uniqueness, your unique genius, right? And in order to do that, you need to be able to delegate certain tasks away from you while you focus on whether you're watching this video and you're a great event planner, whether you're a great decorator, whether you're a great salesperson. You want to focus on your unique genius and delegate the rest so your business can grow outside of yourself. The pain points keeping you stuck. Now, we talked to a lot of event venue owners, and these are some of the four crucial pain points that they experience when it comes to growing their business. A lot of event venue owners get in this business, right? We've talked to a lot of event venue owners that recently got in the industry, and these are some of the pain points that the most seasoned event venue owners are still experiencing, and also some pain points that the newcomers are experiencing as well. So the first one, leads come in but don't convert. Increase disappear into the void. So hey, you may be watching this video and you're like, Charles, okay, I have leads, right? I have people interacting with me on social media, but those leads just aren't converting to booked tours, which convert to booked events. It's because you don't have a system in place. You may be watching this video and be like, no, Charles, I call my leads, right? Yeah, you might call your leads once. You might even call your leads the second time. Hey, and if you're the small percentage, you might even call your leads the third time. But a lot of event venue owners fail to call the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And it doesn't have to be a call, it can be a simple email, it can be a text message. But you fail to constantly follow up with your people to provide them value. Because again, they reached out to us in order to get information. And throughout life, it's busy, right? You have kids, you have school, you have work, and all these different aspects of people's lives. So if they're not um, interacting with you or answering your phone calls the first couple times, we have to be diligent in order to provide that value for people. So leads come in, but they just don't convert. It's a lack of a system in place. Constant price shoppers racing to the bottom on every quote. So, quick story, right? I worked with the event venue owner. She was new in business, and her main goal was like, Charles, I want this to be my full-time gig. I've always wanted an event venue. I've always wanted to do this. And now that I have the chance to do it, I want to make sure that it scales to the possibility so I don't have to continue clocking in at someone else's dream. And what ended up happening was we were working with her, we built out her website, we gave her a funnel, we gave her all the information that she was looking for in regards to leads coming in, people inquiring. She was booking some events. But in 60 days of us working with her, another venue opened up a mile down the street, literally 5 minutes away from where she was at. And what that venue decided to do was undercut them. So she was at one price point. They decided to come in below the market, provide the same stuff, same package, just undercut her in the amount that in the amount that people were purchasing with her. And as entrepreneurs, as business people, we have a tendency to look to see what the market is doing and look to adjust with the market. But if we do that, we become a commodity. So now you're a consumer and you have these two options. I have venue A, I have venue B. They provide the same amount of packages, value. It's the same. The difference is the price. So what ended up happening was she had to ultimately close because yes, we were providing leads, we were giving her all the information that she needed, but she kept dropping her prices and dropping her prices. And if you're an event venue owner, you know we have overhead of $3,000, $6,000, even sometimes $9,000 a month. So uh, instead of her positioning herself as a venue of value, she positioned her venue as a commodity. So people was price shopping her and not truly seeing the value that she even can provide. So that's what ends up happening a lot of times with venue owners. We constantly want to lower our quote. We constantly want to compete with the market instead of becoming our own market and creating our own ecosystem of people who value what we have to offer. The third thing, always behind on bills, cash flow roller coaster every single month. I'm gonna give you a quick tip. If you are getting a deposit on the front end, let's not wait for the payment in full 30 days before the event, right? So, example, if someone booked your space, let's say in January, they put $500 down, but their event isn't until December. Let's not wait until 30 days before their event in November to get that payment in full. Let's actually break down the payments incrementally up until December, have a system in place that provides them predictability on when that payment will be coming out of their account. Because again, cash flow inconsistency um, will put you in a position where you're not able to pay some of your overhead. We want to be in a space where revenue is coming in inside of our business month after month, right? If you don't have money coming inside of your business, I'm sorry to say you don't have a business. So we put people on payment structure plans, have a system in place in order to get predictable revenue every single month, even if we don't get a booking within that month. That's the key. That's the gem that you need to write down and implement inside of your business today. Deposit, payment plan, system in place for predictability so you can have a consistent cash flow coming inside of your business. And then number four, no booking predictability, never knowing what's coming next. You may go into the new month with optimism. You may say to yourself, okay, this is going to be a great month. I want this revenue goal. I want these many bookings. However, you break down your goals, if you have goals, you don't have a predictable system in place that lets you know, okay, this is where I was at, but this is where I'm going. So in order to go there, right, I need to have these principles in place today. A lot of people in general look to base their future goals off of what they did in their past. but we have to get in a place where we look at our past, present, and future as tools. So instead of saying that, okay, the last 30 to 60 days, we did this amount of money. So the future possibilities in the next 30 to 60 days are only this small. So we're going to base our goals off of what we did in the past. And to get in a position of empowerment, we have to start basing our goals based off where we're going in the future and not where we were already at. So simply enough, no booking, predictability, having a narrow vision on where you could possibly go with your business. So the quote, this isn't an event space problem because your space is beautiful. When people come inside your space, they want to book. It's a systems problem. And we're going to dive deep in the next few slides to show you what a system actually is. So if you guys are out there, if you're into personal development, you probably heard of Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote the famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But today, we're going to be talking about the cash flow quadrant. And he basically gives 4 different mindsets, different belief systems in regards to how this world functions and how business owners can function inside of the system. Because everybody is operating within a certain system. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So in this framework, the first quadrant per se, let me get some water. This is raw, you know. The first quadrant is employee. So that's your 9-to-5ers, right? They trade time for money, limited by hours worked. I had a mentor once tell me before, hey, time is a limited resources. We can only work so hard throughout the day. We can only do so much throughout the day. But if we don't have leverage to help us grow, not only as individuals, but in this video, since I'm talking to event space owners, if you don't have leverage within your event space, you will fall to your own destruction. So E trades time for money, 9-to-5ers, right? You have S, self-employed. You are the business. So this can be salespeople, this can be lawyers, this can be doctors. These are sometimes, right, high paid individuals that the only way that they get paid is based off the value that they give to the next person. If they don't give them a specific result at the end of the day, they don't get paid, right? So a lot of the times you're providing a service when it comes to being self-employed, and you are the business, which means if you get sick one day, God forbid, if something happens to you, right, then the business stops completely. No money comes in, nothing happens without you. You are the bottleneck. You are the business, right? So business stops when you stop. Then we have B, business owner. Welcome. And this is the space that we love to play in, that we love to grow in, and the place that you want to get to inside of your own event space. So business owner, systems plus people run it. Business works without you. Imagine you had a predictable system that allowed you to get leads, right? Those leads automatically go into book tours, right? And if you have people on the back end, that's amazing. But if you don't, you wake up to booked tours on your calendar each and every single day. And all you have to do is show up, put on a smile, go to your event space, and close the deal. And everything on the back end will work out for itself. Once you grow, once you scale, once you start getting bookings, you can start hiring people. But simply enough, to start, we want systems in place that can work without us. Because you may be watching this video and you may not be even full time in your event space. So your limited capacity while you're at work, leads are still coming in. People are still looking for a space. So with you working your job, right? Being in this quadrant, which is okay. You being in this quadrant, how are those leads being answered? If you had a predictable system that booked tours, called leads for you, you can grow your business without you having to focus on the marketing side of your business. And so B, and then last but not least, we have I. Money works for you. Passive income streams. You heard a lot about passive income, right? You hear a lot about passive income, but it's an actual system that works behind that. Money works for you. So these are the people that invest in the S&P 500, stocks, bonds, anywhere you can invest your money and you will reap something on the other end of it. Real estate, potentially, right? So money works for you. And these are the four frameworks that I want you to keep in mind when you're growing your business, because you want to say, okay, am I an employee right now in my business? Right? And that's where a lot of us start. Am I doing everything inside of my business? If I am doing everything inside of my business, I am the business, right? My business doesn't work unless I move. And the transition, like the mindset that you have to go from is nothing moves without me to how can this work without me? Like asking yourself better questions. So those are the four different frameworks. And again, this is from Robert Kiyosaki, the Cash Flow Quadrant book. I would definitely recommend you checking that out. So where venue owners actually land. 90% of event venue owners are stuck in the self-employment quadrant. And just for a refresher, the self-employment quadrant, you are the business. So they're doing everything. You answer every call personally. You run every tour. You chase every single lead and you're following up manually. And you work 60 hours plus 60 hours per week. And that's not including everything else that you're doing in your own personal life as well. And that's where 90% of event venue owners fall into that category, because a lot of us got into this business because it was a passion of ours. We may have started, I don't know, DJs. We may have started just planning events, doing balloon arcs. And the vision was always, man, one day I'm going to have a venue, right? But I don't imagine the plan was one day I'm going to have a venue that I work in constantly with no breaks, with no one to help me. Right? I don't believe that was the ultimate vision. You want to grow something that allows you to not have to be in it every single day. So that's where 90% of event venue owners fall, right? Doing everything as the image shows. And then we have, let's go back here, where venue owners actually land. The 10% move to business owner quadrant. And this is a mindset shift that they have to go to in order to start building something truly for their families, right? So you go to business owner quadrant, you have systems that generate qualified leads. That's important. You just don't want leads, you want qualified leads. So with having those qualified leads, you have a system in place that generates that automatically by proven ads, a proven process, and you have an assistant that works with you in order to book those leads to tours and eventually close the deal. You have AI plus setters, close tours. You know, with AI being so prevalent now, that's like a hot word that people have a tendency to talk about. With AI, you may be asking yourself, or you may seen in the last 34 months, like how can I implement AI inside of my business? And there's a solution. And the solution is that you have a booking bot. You have an AI bot that automatically books tours on your behalf and has genuine conversations through SMS, through text message, right? So that's one way that you can implement it. You have predictable booking pipeline. So while you're out having fun with your family, working your job, doing what you do in life, you have this AI bot in the virtual assistants working on your behalf 24/7. So you get text messages on your phone saying, "Wow, I have a tour tomorrow," or I have a new booking. I have these leads coming in to my phone while I'm out enjoying myself. So that's the predictable booking pipeline. They scale, not just survive. It's a scalable process because proven ads will be implemented. A certain structure of the cost group will be given, and you don't have to focus on it. It's already done for you. And now you're running a business that works for you. So this is the harsh truth. There's a percentage of you that's looking at this video and probably saying, okay, I don't think that can work for my business. Even though this is for event venue owners, right? I don't think that can work for my business. My business is different. There's another percentage of you that's saying, okay, I like what he's talking about, but just not sure how that can work. I don't really see it now. I may be doing everything. I'm learning how to do these things. And you're just unsure. So this is the harsh truth. What's the price of staying self-employed? You'll always be capped by your time. There's been countless of times that I wish for 25 hours in a day. Countless of times I wish for 8 days in a week, but it's just not a possibility. We are all capped by the time that we have. So you'll never grow. You'll never outgrow the hustle if you're constantly doing this. Marketing, sales, follow-up, cleaning, you will not outgrow the hustle. You will only burn out. And like it says, you'll eventually burn out, get beat by someone with systems, right? Like the story that I referred to earlier, you'll get beat by someone less than a mile away from you that's actually implementing systems inside of their business while you are falling to your own strength. This is the escape plan. There's good news. This is the escape plan. So how do you move quadrants? That's the question, Charles. Like I understand what you're saying to me. I understand that this is something that can work for me. And I'm getting this revelation of, okay, I see it. I see how this can work. Just how do I move from where I'm currently at in the season of my business? Number one, you want to build an advertising system. Consistent. It's going to be a consistent system that gives you qualified leads and automatically. So we're talking about Facebook ads, Instagram ads. You want to have proven ads that work, right, within your local market that you can shoot out to your local market so they can start inquiring to your space, right? Number two, plug in AI automations. Instant follow-up captures every opportunity. There was a report that I was reading, and it simply said that when someone inquires, it's best to get a response to that person within 60 seconds. If you have 5 minutes, but 60 seconds is ideal because people are looking for information, right? And if you're not calling them, you're texting them. If you're not texting them, you have to be emailing them. But in this type of world that we're in right now, people in text messages are right there. You get that notification, you see it, you start communicating with that person. So plug in AI automations that work for you and something that can scale without you. Number three, add appointment setters. Convert tours into booking systems automatically. So you have AI working for you. They're having conversations in SMS. However, there's always that human touch that you need. So you won't be doing it. You will actually have a virtual assistant, in this example, appointment setter, that calls on your behalf, gives people the direction, gives people the information that they're looking for with the potential of selling that tour for your space. This is the triple A method: ads, AI, appointment setters. Welcome. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. So before, venue owners in the S quadrant, chasing every lead manually, right? Calling every lead manually. No time for growth, no time for the the CEO inside of you that's looking to strategize, looking to plan on getting probably expanding what you currently have for your venues. No time for growth, unpredictable income, and constant stress. And then after, venue and B quadrant. Systems handle lead to bookings. Owner focuses on growth, predictable revenue streams, time freedom restored, I believe. And we all have different perspectives on this, but you got into business for freedom. You got into business to serve. And if you're not putting systems in place, you are doing your clients and yourself a disservice. So time freedom restored. Moving on. The choice is simple. You have two choices, two paths. Like I said at the beginning of this video, stay stuck in the 90%, keep grinding without growth. And then you have number two, step into the 10%, build systems that scale. We have a community. And in this community, let's just talk about it a little bit. In 2025, the venue owners with systems wins, they have, and this is the breakdown of the quadrant itself. You have employee, time equals money. You may have heard that growing up. Self-employed, you equal the business. You constantly do everything inside of your business without any help. Investor, money works for you. And then you have number three, where a lot of us want to be, business owner. Systems equals freedom. Okay? We have a community, like I was saying once before. And with this community, you have the opportunity to get around like-minded event venue owners that's looking to grow, that's looking to scale, and looking to automate their marketing systems. And you'll have a plethora of different type of information in there. You'll have connections that are timeless, that you can get information from people who's been in the industry for years. And not only that, I dropped some of the most prevalent information that's working for our own event venue that I believe that will take you to another level. So in the description below, you can check out that community, and we will see you in the next video.